The story begins in a dangerous boxing ring where two people are fighting a deadly match. In this fight, either one of them could die. We see Jack, who is badly hurt, but still fighting against a man named Hitler. Hitler tries to win the match by getting control over Jack, but Jack, in anger, lifts Hitler and throws him hard to the ground. Hitler dies on the spot. When Hitler's family sees this, they try to run toward him, but the guards don't let them enter the ring. Jack sees this and feels very upset and disturbed. After that, the scene changes. Jack goes to Hitler's house to say sorry to his family, but Hitler's young son, who had seen his father die in the ring, becomes angry and starts punching Jack. Then his mother, Emma, quickly stops him and tells Jack to leave their house. 2 years later, we see a man named Andalou in a Marseille factory. He is running away from some men wearing masks. These masked men surround him from all sides, but Andalou still manages to escape. Just then, a gangster named Abdel Mansour comes from the front and punches Andalou, knocking him down. Then the others join in and start beating him badly. The next morning, when the police arrive, we see Captain Sarkissian and Captain Aloui, who quickly take charge and begin investigating the area. While looking around, Captain Aloui suddenly notices a large blood stain on the ground. He follows the blood trail to a secret room, where he finds many dead bodies. These people were killed in a cruel and brutal way. Soon, the other police officers arrive, and an inquiry begins. Captain Alawi tells the chief the names of the dead people and says this is the work of the Mansour gang, who are killing rival gang members to send a message. But one of the other cops doesn't believe Captain Alawi. He accuses him of lying, and the two start arguing. The chief quickly stops them and takes Captain Alawi aside. The chief tells Alawi, Vasseur is right. You need real proof before you can accuse anyone. Find evidence first. This makes Captain Alawi angry, and he starts to leave. Suddenly, he gets a phone call. A scared, nervous man asks to meet him. When Alawi arrives at the meeting spot, he sees the man is none other than Leo, Hitler's son. Leo is shaking with fear and tells Captain Alawi that he's in danger. He says, I saw everything that happened at the factory yesterday with my own eyes. The Mansour saw me watching them. They could kill me anytime. While they are talking, a police car arrives nearby. Leo thinks that Captain Aloui has betrayed him, so he runs away in panic. Aloui begs him to stop, but Leo doesn't listen. He runs to the top of a parking garage where a biker is waiting. Leo escapes with the biker, and Captain Aloui fails to catch him. On the other side, we see Jack, who wakes up scared after having a nightmare about Hitler's death. It's clear that he still hasn't forgotten what happened. He quickly gets ready and leaves to find work. He gets a small job digging the ground for some money. When the work ends, Jack takes his pay and heads back home. But as soon as he reaches his house, he is shocked to see Emma, Hitler's wife, standing outside. Jack had secretly moved to a new place 2 years ago without telling anyone. He asks Emma why she's here. Emma shows him a photo of Leo and tells him the whole story. Leo has been missing for 5 days, and in his last voice message, he said his life was in danger. Even after hearing this, Jack says Emma she should go to the police, not him. Emma gets angry and says, all of this is happening because of you. Ever since you killed Hitler, Leo started working in drug dealing to survive without a father. I even went to the police, but they didn't help. After hearing all this, Jack agrees to find Leo. Emma gives Jack a bracelet and says, when Leo was a sick child, I prayed in church and promised this bracelet to God. He got better. Now keep it with you for protection. Then Jack goes back to his old city, Marseille, to find Leo. He arrives at the place where Leo was staying and sees a group of teenagers sitting on a sofa, acting tough. Jack tells them firmly, I'm parking my bike here. If anything happens to it, you'll be in trouble. The teenagers get scared and agree. Jack goes into the building and reaches Leo's room. He knocks on the door, but it's already open. Jack walks inside, but no one is there. Neither Leo nor his cousin Hugo. Suddenly, Captain Aloui sneaks in and holds Jack at gunpoint, asking, who are you and what are you doing here? Jack explains everything, saying that Leo's mother sent him to look for her son. At first, Captain Aloui doesn't believe him, but when he checks Jack's wallet, he realizes Jack is telling the truth. Then Captain Aloui searches the room and finds some photos of Leo with his friends. He picks up a photo of a girl, and they both go downstairs to question the teenager. The teenagers finally confess that some unknown men came a few days ago and beat up Hugo badly, even hitting his head hard. They say Hugo might be dead or in the hospital. Captain Alawi asks them the hospital's name, and one of them gives the location. Captain Alawi quickly leaves for the hospital, but tells Jack not to come with him. However, as soon as Alawi drives away in his car, Jack runs to his bike, planning to reach the hospital before him. On the other side, we see the Mansour gang hiding out in a secret location. When Abdul Mansour arrives, he asks one of his guards if Leo has been caught yet. The guard says no. This makes Abdul very angry, and he orders him to call all the gang members immediately. The guard starts gathering everyone. Then the guard goes into another container, where we see Andalou tied up and being tortured. The gang is keeping him alive because he has 300 kilos of weed and 10 kilos of cocaine hidden somewhere. They want to know where it is. Even after all the pain, Andalou refuses to talk, but then Abdel shows him a video on the phone. His family is being beaten by the gang. Seeing this, Andalou breaks down in tears and finally gives up the location of the drugs. Abdel quickly sends his men to get it. Meanwhile, Captain Aloy reaches the hospital, but Jack is already there before him. Jack tells Aloy that the doctors won't let him see Hugo because his condition is very serious. He says maybe they'll allow a police officer like Aloy to go in. Still, Captain Aloy is suspicious and asks Jack, "Why are you really looking for Leo?" Jack explains everything. "I'm an MMA fighter. During a match, Leo's father died because of me. Now I promise his mother that I will find Leo and bring him back to her." After hearing this, Captain Alawi believes him and agrees to take him to see Hugo, but they don't know that Abdul Mansur's men are watching them from outside the hospital. The gang members call Abdul and inform him that even the police are now looking for Leo. We then see Abdul Mansur handing out wanted posters of Leo to his people. He announces that anyone who finds Leo will get a reward of 10,000. At the hospital, Captain Alawi questions Hugo about Leo's whereabouts, but Hugo says, "I don't know where Leo is hiding." Then Aloy asks about the people who attacked him, if Hugo saw their faces. Hugo replies that they were wearing masks. Captain Aloy then shows Hugo the photo of the girl he found in Leo's room. Hugo identifies her and says, "Her name is Inaya. She has a sister named Fatu, and I know she works at a pop club." Hugo is too weak to talk much because Mansur's men had beaten and burned him badly. Seeing his condition, Aloy stops asking questions and leaves the hospital. As he steps outside, Aloy notices that Mansur's spies are still standing nearby. He walks up to them and asks, "Why are you still here?" The men reply, "We're visiting a friend who's admitted in the hospital." But Aloy suspects they're lying and tells them to leave. Then the men warn him, "It's better if you stay out of this matter." Aloy gets angry and replies, "I'm not afraid of your boss. Do whatever you want." As the spies leave, one of them threatens Aloy's brother. Hearing this, Aloy loses his temper and beats them up badly. Jack arrives just in time and stops him before things get worse. Later, the police chief scolds Captain Aloy for his behavior. He tells him, "Forget about Mansur. Until we have strong evidence, no action will be taken." He also suspends Aloy for a few days. Aloy takes off his badge and leaves the police station, but Jack follows him. Jack then asks what Hugo said at the hospital. Captain Aloy explains, "He told me that Fatu, Inaya's sister, works at a pop club. Maybe she knows where Leo is." So both of them head to the club. Meanwhile, Mansur's men are still handing out Leo's wanted posters everywhere, trying to track him down. At the same time, we see Leo secretly hiding on the upper floor of a building, watching all this from a window. He starts shaking in fear and says, "They're never going to let me live." With him is Inaya, who is hiding Leo and tries to comfort him, saying everything is going to be okay. On the other side, Jack and Captain Aloy arrive at the pop club and approach Fatu, asking her about her sister Inaya. But Fatu refuses to say anything. Then the club guards come and tell them to leave. Jack explains, "We just want to ask a few questions," but the guards don't agree, and a fight breaks out. Jack hasn't been in a fight for a long time, so he gets beaten up badly. When Aloy sees Jack getting hurt, he jumps into the fight too, but the guards overpower him as well. Both of them are beaten up and thrown outside. While lying outside, Jack notices the bracelet Emma gave him and remembers the promise he made to bring Leo back. This gives him strength. Filled with rage and determination, Jack gets up again and heads back toward the club. Captain Aloy tries to stop him, but Jack doesn't listen. He storms into the club again, and this time fights back fiercely. Using his boxing skills and strength, Jack takes down the guards one by one. Seeing this, Fatu runs upstairs in fear, and Jack follows her. More guards come to stop him, but Jack quickly defeats them, pushing through them all. Fatu, still afraid, orders the guards to stop Jack, but Jack keeps fighting with full power. Though the guards keep getting back up, Jack eventually handles them all and reaches Fatu. Just as Jack tries to talk to her, the club owner sneaks up behind and points a gun at him, ordering him to leave. Before Jack can turn around, Captain Aloy arrives just in time and shoots the club owner, saving Jack. Aloy then speaks gently to Fatu, telling her, "We're not bad people. We just want to help your sister." Hearing this, Fatu finally opens up and tells them the truth. Leo and Inaya are hiding at her mother's house. Jack and Aloy decide to go there, but Aloy looks worried. Jack asks him why. Aloy says, "Her house is in Frévalon. It's a dangerous area full of gang. Even the police are scared to go there." But Jack replies, "This is about Leo. We have to go no matter what." Aloy agrees but says, "We'll go tomorrow morning. If we go now, Mansour's spies might see us and alert him. On the other side, Mansour is seen smuggling drugs and goods into another gang's area. The leader of that territory, Murad, arrives and angrily says, "Why are you doing this here? You know this is my area." Mansour calmly replies, "I don't want any bloodshed. I just want to send my goods through here. From now on, I'll watch over this area, and for every delivery you send through your zone, you'll pay me." But Murad refuses the deal. Then Mansour brings out Andalou, still alive, and chains both his hands to two bikes. As the bikes speed away in opposite directions, Andalou screams in pain, and his arms are torn off. He dies on the spot. After showing this brutal act, Mansour asks Murad again, "Do you accept the deal now or not?" Scared, Murad agrees. Meanwhile, back at the police station, the club guards, the ones Jack had beaten, come in and file a complaint. They show the CCTV footage of the whole fight. When the chief sees Captain Aloy in the footage, he gets furious and orders his officers, "I want that girl, Fatou, in the station within an hour. We need to know what's going on." He also sends a team to track down Jack and Aloy. The next morning, Jack and Aloy reach the apartment that Fatou told them about. At the same time, police officers arrest Fatou and bring her to the chief. He questions her and then sends his entire police unit toward Fray-Ballon to avoid a bigger conflict. As Jack and Aloy find Leo, Leo gets angry after seeing Jack. He asks Aloy, "What is he doing here?" Aloy tells him the whole story, but Leo refuses to go with the man who killed his father. Meanwhile, Mansour gets a call from his gang. They've found Leo's location. After much effort, Aloy finally convinces Leo to trust them. The whole group starts leaving the apartment, but just then, Mansour's men arrive at the front gate. The group tries to escape through the back, but the gang reaches that side too. Jack turns to Aloy and says, "Take the kids and run. I'll handle this." Aloy grabs Leo and the others and escapes while Jack stays to fight. He punches one of the bikers and hears more enemies coming. Realizing he's surrounded, Jack tries to escape but is chased by masked men. After a long run, he gets trapped. Gang members are coming from both sides, but just in time, police officers led by the chief arrive and arrest the gang member. The rest of the group is taken safely back to the police station. Fatou becomes very happy when she sees her sister Inaya alive. The chief then gives the order to take Leo for questioning. Some officers take Leo to an interrogation room, and Aloy asks to go with them. The chief agrees. On the other side, Mansour gets information from his spy that police are planning to move Leo to a safer city. Hearing this, Mansour orders his men to attack police station. Inside the police station, while officers are taking Leo's statement, one officer gets a call that a shooting has happened in Sebastopol. Some officers rush out to handle it. Then we see on the map that Mansour's gang is attacking police units all over the city to distract them and empty the police station so they can capture Leo. In the interrogation room, Leo tells the truth. "I used to work for Andalou, but one day Andalou planned to meet with some drug dealers. I was supposed to inform the police, so I secretly followed him. When Andalou was about to show the goods to the dealers inside a factory, Mansour and his men suddenly arrived from behind. I also followed them into the factory so I could gather some more information. But before I got there, Mansour's gang had already caught Andalou and the dealers. One of those dealers was actually a spy for Mansour, who had betrayed Andalou. I was watching everything from a corner, but I accidentally made a noise when my foot hit something. That's when Mansour and his men noticed me, and I ran away before they could catch and kill me." Aloy asks Leo, "Why did you run away when I first came to see you?" Leo doesn't answer at first, which makes Aloy suspicious. He asks again. This time Leo says he had heard Andalou talk about a police informant. "They used to call him Cop," he says. Aloy realizes that someone inside the police must be leaking information to Mansour. He looks at Captain Sarkissian, starting to suspect him. Meanwhile, outside the police station, alarms are going off everywhere. Officers are rushing to different crime scenes. The chief comes out of his office and sees that most of the station is empty. He looks at the big map on the wall, where multiple danger zones are marked. Back inside in the interrogation room, Vasseur, who turns out to be Mansour's spy, suddenly attacks Captain Sarkissian with a knife. Then he grabs Aloy, holding the knife to her neck and trying to kill her. But Aloy quickly pulls her gun and shoots Vasseur, saving herself. Just then, outside the room, Jack and the chief hear the gunshot. Suddenly, the power goes out, and Mansour's men storm the station, firing everywhere. Some officers are shot and killed. Aloy runs out of the room and shoots back, killing one of the attackers. When the attackers run out of bullets, Aloy signals Jack and the chief to run with her. But as they escape, the attackers reload and start shooting again. Luckily, no one is hit, and the group makes it to a safe room. Inside the safe room, the chief realizes that Mansour's gang is here for Leo. He tells everyone to get Leo out through the back door. But just then, Mansour himself enters from the back and shoots the chief. When Aloy sees Mansour, she's frozen with shock for a moment. but still manages to shoot at him. The bullet misses. Jack sees they're surrounded, front and back. He finds another door and leads everyone into a side room. Aloy shoots the lock so the attackers can't follow right away. They escape through another door, but then one of Manshore's men spots them and shoots Aloy with a shotgun, knocking her down. Jack fights back, takes the attacker's gun, and kills him, even when the man tries to stab him with a knife. Manshore now realizes where they went. As one of the attackers is about to shoot Leo, Jack jumps in just in time to protect him. The gunfire continues. Jack grabs a bulletproof vest from one of the dead attackers and uses it as a shield. He fights his way through and kills one of them, but then Manshore's strongest man punches Jack, knocking him down. Manshore walks toward Leo, ready to shoot him, but Aloy stands up again and stops him. A brutal fight begins between Aloy and Manshore, while Jack is fighting the other killer. Even though Jack is badly hurt and bleeding, he doesn't give up. He uses all his strength and boxing skills. At the end, just as Manshore is about to choke Aloy, she grabs a knife and stabs him in the eye. Then she slams him into the wall, and he dies on the spot. Jack also manages to kill the last attacker using all his might, despite being hurt. Finally, Leo and Aloy, both injured, walk over to Jack. Jack tells Leo, "It's over now. There's no reason to be afraid anymore." A few days later, Leo and Anaya are sitting near the sea, starting a new life together. As they enjoy the peaceful view, Leo's mother, Emma, quietly walks up behind them. Even before turning around, Leo senses her presence. He turns, and when he sees his mother standing there, he runs to her and hugs her tightly after so many days apart. Watching this emotional reunion, Jack and Aloy smile with relief and happiness, knowing they were able to bring this broken family back together, and this is where the story ends. So friends, how did you like this story? If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.